I did the day before, and who essentially teaches me that without anything, love is the best answer to growing not only a child, but a constituency. I want to also thank the Leader of the Opposition for encouraging me and bestowing upon me this awesome responsibility to serve my country, and my colleagues, and certainly the comrades of this great party that I serve. I say thank you. My people from St. Anne, Southeastern, who have traveled tirelessly. My 4 councillors, Lydia Richards, who is actually here from the Bensington Division, Lambert Ware from Claremont, and although Lloyd Garrick and Vinette Robb couldn't be here, I still would like to pay tribute to them in this honourable house. And to the persons who make my life much easier, Mr. Speaker, Andrea Smith, P. Redwood, and Joan Edwards, who are my support staff in my office, because without them we would not have been able to carry out some of the most arduous tasks that we have in Southeast St. Anne over the year. And so I commit to them who are here and those who are in my constituency my love, my integrity, my respect, and my diligence to work with them, not only for next year, but in the years to come. Mr. Speaker, the constituency of St. Anne Southeastern is not only resolute, it is strong. And over the past year, we've been able to achieve several targets in the areas of infrastructure and development, the upgrading of the Claremont market, youth training, agriculture, and sport. We've been able to provide water facilities so that more than 700 residents can have access to water resources. We've arranged lands for farmers for additional crops, and we've sponsored youth teams in divisional football competitions, in youth training as well, and the commencement and the resurfacing of some of our major roads. Additionally, we were able to provide assistance to more than 1,100 residents to improve the quality of their lives. We will continue to build on this fine tradition, not only in these areas, but we will continue to improve the areas in terms of recreation for our youth, training, and talent development and education for our young people. Mr. Speaker, at this time I want to publicly pay tribute to my comrades and residents of the Calderwood Division. And although boundary cuts are constitutional, sometimes they are unfortunate because they really uproot the lives of many persons who were once together for many, many years. I want to say thank you to them for their fortitude, their love and devotion to Southeast St. Anne over the many years. And even though they might be going somewhere else, I pledge my commitment to them because they did to me. And were it not for them, I would not be standing here in this honourable house. Mr. Speaker, I stand here not only to represent the constituency of St. Anne Southeastern, but I stand here today to represent the 1.4 million people under 30, 53% of our total population. Over the past year, I have deliberated time and time again of the plight of our nation's youth. I've concerned myself with their progression for our nation's ultimate survival, and I have proposed solutions towards a new national approach for youth development. Our national priorities are clearly to stimulate economic growth so as to generate employment, servicing our large national debt, the tackling of crime and violence, and securing the necessary foreign exchange to meet the needs of the economy. The dire need to solve these integrated problems not only requires urgency, Mr. Speaker, they require commitment. However, until we engage our young people into understanding the current reality and have a sound commitment from them to participate in finding solutions, we will come here every year simply rephrasing the problem and not seriously addressing them. We clearly need to realign our priorities, Mr. Speaker, and how we communicate as nation builders. The fact is that we cannot expect our youth to take responsibility to helping to solve the problems when they can't even explain what the problems are or their causes. This majority has rarely been consulted and involved in the country's decision-making. I would go as far as to say that one of the major reasons why we have not been able to solve them is that over the past 30 years, we have failed to let our youth understand it, and we have failed to meaningfully engage them. Mr. Speaker, since 2007, our debt has moved by 30% to $1.3 trillion. Today, as I speak, every single member who occupies a space in our workforce owes $1.3 million on behalf of the people of Jamaica. Mr. Speaker, today the IMF and its discussions is now on our highest priority, as we simply do not have the foreign exchange to buy the oil, the food, the medicines, and the building materials we have grown accustomed to consuming. But, Mr. Speaker, the IMF is a short-term fix. What happens in 2 years? Fundamentally, our solution has been to borrow our way out of problems, but the truth is we cannot borrow any longer. We're left with the only alternative, Mr. Speaker. We either produce or we will die. This production has to be in foreign exchange industries. Of our 11 major foreign exchange earners in 2007, 4 are now grappling for survival: sugar, scrap metal, bananas, and textiles. Now that we're deeply integrated in the global economy, our youth needs to understand what this reality means and how it will impact on their lives moving forward. Mr. Speaker, I don't know if you know this, but China will soon be the #1 English-speaking English-speaking country in the world. 25% of India's population with the highest IQ is greater than the total population of children living in the United States. India has more children receiving academic honors than America has children. The amount of new technical information is doubling every 2 years. This means that in today's reality, a student starting a 4-year technical degree, half of what they learn in their first year of study will be outdated by their 3rd year of study. Additionally, the top 10 in-demand jobs for 2010 did not exist in 2004. Mr. Speaker, the rest of the world is preparing students for jobs that don't yet exist, using technologies that have not yet been invented in order to solve problems we don't even know are problems yet. We are living in exponential times, and until we recognize this, we will continue to equip our young people with skills to compete in a world that is rapidly disappearing, without providing them with the requisite resources to correct the long-term damage. Mr. Speaker, the first task of this generation, my generation, is to make Jamaica a credit-worthy country. Our current credit rating is a B- heading to CCC. Interest rates are 20+ on government debt, which means that debt services consume 60 cents of every dollar collected by the government, which amounts to about $250 billion annually. Our goal must be to get to a AAA rating, AAA credit rating, Mr. Speaker. If we had that rating now, our interest costs on debt would be 2%, saving the country $225 billion in interest payments. To make the point, each MP, instead of receiving $40 million for their CDF, could receive $3 billion. While we must not give up the hope, Mr. Speaker, of getting to a AAA rating realistically, what we should do is target an interest rate 5% above our major trading partner, the United States, which would give us an interest rate of around 7%. Mr. Speaker, you will recall that when we left office in 2007, the Treasury bill rate was under 12%. We were heading in the right direction at that time.